So I'm really proud to welcome Kate Bowen Viner, a youth agency conceptualist of menstruation in English education policy, 1928 to 1920. Really enjoying to hear what's about to come up here. Should we swap places? Yeah. We'll be doing a bit of a dance.
Okay. I will just put my
press share on them.
Okay.
Are you happy to press share on Teams?
How do I do it?
Just see. Okay, hello there.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hi everyone, my name's Kate Bowen Viner and I'm going to talk to you today about youth agency and conceptualisations of menstruation in the history of English education policy. Oops. So in England, youth activists have been drawing attention to young people's experiences of menstrual stigma. And the government in England has responded. The Department for Education has introduced a free period products policy, and they've also introduced relationship, sex and health education, or an updated version of that, which is I'm going to refer to as RSHE. They claim that both these policies are crucial to tackling menstrual stigma. Free period products policies, that's what it says on the tin, gives young people in state-funded schools free period products. RSHE mandates teachers to teach about menstrual well-being and also to address the stigma around health issues. Now, those policies might well help to address menstrual stigma, but in positioning or conceptualising menstruation as a biological process that teachers can instruct young people about and that teachers can help young people to manage, the policies position teachers as knowledge-holding experts or agents and position young people as knowledge-lacking, inert non-agents. So after noticing that RSHE and free period products policies had conceptualised menstruation, young people and adults in the ways I just mentioned, I started to wonder how menstruation has been conceptualised in the history of education policies and how such conceptualisations have positioned young people and teachers. So using some ideas from French philosophy, I go on to, sorry, I don't really know how to get this to go down.
Just use the next one.
Yeah, next one.
Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. So using some ideas from French philosophy, I analysed 27 English education policies since 1928 and found that menstruation has been conceptualised in pretty similar ways. So perhaps unsurprisingly, policies generally framed menstruation as a natural biological process that differentiates cisgender boys from cisgender girls in education. And by this, I mean that policies framed menstruation as something that menstruating girls, rather than non-menstruating boys, needed to learn about. Almost all the policy documents I analysed spoke about menstruation in regards to cisgender girls, although that term was never used. The only policy document that I analysed that mentioned trans and non-binary young people menstruating was the free period products policy guidance from 2020. Words like alarm, shock and distress were often used in the policy documents I analysed to discuss menstruating girls. So those documents positioned menstruation as a problem of cisgender girls' bodies that teachers could help to solve by providing them with knowledge about how to prepare for menstruation or by providing them with products. The national curriculum documents that I analysed since the 1980s set out what menstrual knowledge teachers should impart to pupils. So in doing so, they seem to position menstruation as a biological process that teachers could teach about, but that pupils could only absorb knowledge about. So those conceptualisations seem to position teachers as agents and young people as non-agents. And that's because they appear to be underpinned by an idea that's pretty common in Western European philosophy, that the mind is separate from the body, which is often referred to as the Cartesian dualism. So let me explain that a bit. So in emphasising that menstruation can be taught and learned, the policies I analysed suggested that there's a separation between the menstruating body and the thinking mind. And in advising teachers what to teach about menstruation, the documents appear to have framed teachers as thinking subjects who can teach about the inert bodily object of menstruation and the menstruating body. And I suggest that in centering teachers as thinking subjects who can fill people's minds with knowledge about menstruation, those policies framed young people as different from teachers, so different from the thinking subjects, so therefore not agentic like the thinking teacher subject. Where English education policies framed menstruation as a problem for cisgender girls that teachers could help to solve, they appear to position cisgender girls and their bodies as the non-agentic objects that teachers can act upon. And in conceptualising menstruation as something that also marks cisgender girls as different from cis boys, some of the policies that I analysed emphasise cis girls' otherness. So not only are cisgender menstruating girls different from teachers who are thinking subjects, but they're also different from cisgender boys. So just to bring everything to a close, I don't know how to that work. How do I press it? Sorry, where? Just 5 minutes. Okay, so just to bring everything to a close, I wanted to emphasise that in this presentation, I've just been saying that education policies in England have consistently constructed menstruation in a way that positions teachers as agents and young people as non-agents. I'll leave you to consider whether there could be other ways of thinking about menstruation in education, and how young people could be part of menstruation education initiatives rather than passive non-actors who need to be filled with knowledge or given products. And I did want to show you my last slide, but I can't get there. But it's just got, if you're interested in the policies that I've mentioned, there's a paper with the references here. You can find more information about it there. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't forget this.